What is going on, Diablo 2 fans? Dmg here, and today I'm going to be showcasing my 62,000 poison damage Rabies Druid that I've been playing in Project Diablo 2. This build is a blast to play, and it would not be possible if not for some generous community item donations and trades. So you guys know who you are that made this build video possible, so thank you so much for all your help. But quick reminder for those that don't know, I do stream twice a week on Twitch. That's where a lot of this character was developed and progressed. So if you guys want to partake in some of the suggestions or gear trades, or just hang out, I do stream there twice a week. Link is of course in the description below. Any follows would be very much appreciated. But guys, hope you enjoy this build video. Let's jump in. So the first thing that I want to do is to just cover the attributes. It's very simple. It's a max Vita build. So I have enough strength to equip my gear, enough dexterity to equip my gear, nothing into energy, and then everything else into vitality. So I have 425 points into vitality for 1,378 life prior to any sort of buffs. The res of this druid is a little bit weak. 51 fire, 9 cold, 35 lightning, and 80 poison. I primarily farm cows with this build. You can run tier maps. You just want to swap some of your charms around to try and get a little bit better res, because that's pretty weak. Like, you definitely want to try and have like a 75 cap across the board. But again, the attribute points is very simple for this Rabies Druid, just max Vita. So for the skill point investment, I have absolutely nothing into the elemental skill tree. We're primarily or entirely shapeshifting and poison damage, so it doesn't really make sense to put anything into elemental. For summoning, I completely maxed out Poison Creeper, and then I have one hard point in all of the summons just to unlock a bear. Typically when I'm farming cows, I don't even bother summoning the bear, but it's really nice for kind of a meat shield when you're doing maps. Then I have one hard point into Hard Wolverine, one hard point into Spirit of Barbs, and then I put all of my remaining points after I maxed out the shapeshifting skill tree into Oak Sage. But if we take a look at the shapeshifting skill tree, I completely maxed out Lycanthropy, one hard point into Werewolf, and then I maxed out Feral Rage, and I maxed out Rabies. That is because, or the reason I maxed out Feral Rage is because it's also a synergy to Rabies damage, so I wanted to completely max out Poison Creeper and Feral Rage to try and get the really juicy 62,000 plus poison damage on this Rabies Druid. So the gear is honestly the coolest part of this build. It is almost nearly perfect, like probably one of the best Rabies Druids on the PD2 ladder, minus maybe some plus poison damage corruption on the gloves and the boots, and maybe like an extra skill in the amulet. Other than that, the gear is literally top tier. So starting off with the weapon, I have a 5 open socket corrupted Viper Fork with 5 nearly perfect poison facets. So it's 2 to poison skills, 50% increased attack speed, and 38 plus additional poison damage, and minus 20 enemy poison res. Then I have a 2 open socket corrupted Jalals with again 2 poison facets in it. Nearly perfect Bramble, so a plus 44% poison damage Bramble. Then I have a plain 3 to shapeshifting skills, 18 to dexterity amulet. Now the reason why I use this is more plus shapeshifting skills, so more Rabies skills, more poison damage. You could kind of go the hybrid route of maybe using like a High Lords and a harder hitting physical damage weapon, but I wanted to prioritize just pure poison damage, so that's why I have a 3 to shapeshifting skills, 18 dexed amulet. And then I have a 10 strength corrupted SOJ, again boosting those plus skills. And then I have a mana stolen per hit corrupted SOJ, so it's kind of cool. Extra additional skills boosting Rabies, and then I do have mana leech. Now the gloves are just fire res corrupted Venom Grip gloves, so these are life leech and plus 14% poison damage. Again, plus poison damage would be a better corruption, not quite perfect. And then I have a 27% MF corrupted Arachnid Mesh. And then of course I have Marowak boots. This is my source of Canopy Frozen on the build. It's also a source of dexterity and strength, so again, less points are going into strength and dex, so that I can put more points into vitality for a little bit more health. And then on the offhand, I have a Man-Song's Lesson. Now this might seem really weird for a druid, but when you shapeshift in Project Diablo 2, it lasts forever. So if I shapeshift on the offhand, I get an additional plus 6 skills to my werewolf, so it's more life, more attack rating, etc. And so since it's like a permanent shapeshift, like just to show you guys, it'll last forever. So it's the offhand, get the extra shapeshifting skills, then I go back to the main hand like that. So yeah, just a cool little trick to get a little bit additional plus life. And then my entire inventory is plus life shapeshifting skillers, so 21 to life, 25, 30, 39, 35, 29, etc. One of these is almost 40. Again, just boosting Rabies and adding a lot more plus life. Then I have a near perfect Druid Torch, 58 to vitality and 19 out of 20 res. And then I have a decent Anti-Charm. It's a little bit low in terms of vitality and res, but it is an additional plus skill. And then all of these small charms are just different assorted, either res in life or faster roam walk and res, or just plain like 5-level res charms. Ideally, I think I would want to have pure faster roam walk res small charms to try and get like just when you run around with Feral Rage proc, and I also have a Vigor Act 1 Mercenary. I'll cover her gear in a second. Stacking more faster roam walk charms, I can just get around quicker, kind of duck into the fight, hit with Rabies, pop out, let it spread. It's just really nice kind of having that extra faster roam walk in my opinion. And then, like I mentioned, my Mercenary is an Act 1 Fire Merc, so I get the Vigor Aura so I can run around quicker. And then for her gear, I just really wanted to prioritize life stolen per hit, damage reduction, and survivability. Except for her weapon does occasionally help boost my damage. But the boots are Lightning Res Corrupted Rite of Passage set boots, so it's her source of Cannot Be Frozen. Then I have a Crown of Ages that have a Hell Rune and a Foul Rune in it. This is just so she has enough strength to equip it. Then I have Treachery, again more attack speed, the Fade proc for DR, it's good in terms of survivability. Then String of Ears for life stolen per hit and DR. Drax Gloves for increased attack speed and life stolen per hit. And then I have a plain Pus Spitter. This might seem like a really weird crossbow to use on a Mercenary. Again, for those that aren't familiar with Act 1 Mercenaries, they give you a Meditation or a Vigor Aura, and they can also equip crossbows. But I'm just using it for the 8% chance to cast level 16 low res and striking. It doesn't go off very often, but when it does, especially against like a boss, it does do a significant boost to my overall poison damage. So we're already at 62,000 over 6 seconds. Just that lower res proc is even more damage. So the last thing that I'm going to do is to show off some example gameplay. I want to demonstrate the effectiveness of a Rabies Druid with doing a Cal run. I honestly believe, in my humble opinion, that it's not a great tier mapping build, even with some of the best gear. Tier 1 maps, anything that's not poison immune, you can run through, but there's tons of skeletons and zombies that are always immune to poison. Tier 3, I find that my Mercenary and Summons die a lot, even though there's no poison immunes. Now, possibly using a different Mercenary or maybe going a hybrid spec of half melee, half Feral Rage would be a little bit more effective for tier mapping. But with this setup that's entirely focused on poison damage, I think it's best to focus on level 85 areas and doing some Cal farming. So that's just what I'm going to use to demonstrate some of the example gameplay. Now, the only thing you have to do is super simple. It's just, oh, there's a low res proc for the Mercenary. It's just not get surrounded by cows. Go in, tap in, hit a cow pack, run out. And you just want to stragglers. It's not a bad idea to just use Feral Rage to make sure that's always activated. So we get as much faster roam walk as we can between the Act 1 Vigor Mercenary, all the faster roam walk on our gear and charms, and the Feral Rage. Really want to try and run around as fast as we can. Hey, 3 to battle orders. That'd be a cool Delirium base if you wanted +5 to battle orders. See, my Feral Rage already deactivated. So yeah, I wish the clear speed with this level of gear was like this in the tier maps. I mean, the tier 1 maps, it is similar. It's just, it's flooded with poison immunes, and then I find that I really struggle to keep my Mercenary alive in some of the other maps, so for as great a build as this is, I just think it's lacking a little bit in terms of tier mapping compared to like some of the single player like Fire Trap Assassin builds that I've been playing on my plugin. This build is still fun, level 85 areas, runs through chaos, runs through cows, and with players 5 drop rates. It's pretty good. And there's the Mercenary's Pus Spitter. Occasionally proccing lower res, which is nice. Little straggler cows, just make sure we Feral Rage those. Keep the faster roam walk bonus activated. Alright. It's really good, like if I can get a bunch of cows together, just let it spreads, everything just melts. Like literally gonna go on record and say, faster than an LOD Jabzon. Do you have to occasionally summon stuff? back to pack. Rock Rabies, get out. Very different gameplay. It's not kind of like a Fury Druid where you're just constantly in monster's face. Go in, out, in, out, in, out. That's all you basically do. Yeah, there you go. That is a full cow clear hell difficulty with the Project Diablo 2 Rabies Druid. Well guys, there you have it. That wraps up today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to let me know in the comment section below if you guys would tweak the build at all, like maybe focusing more on melee, less on poison damage. It is a very fun build to play and clears level 85 areas in the cow farm very effectively. It is, in my opinion, pretty lackluster in tier maps. I think maybe optimizing a little bit more physical damage and then having a different mercenary instead of prioritizing faster Romok would improve the situation a little bit. But again, it's not even as good as like my single player Fire Traps in. So it's an interesting build that's good in some aspects and then not so good in others. But let me know in the comment section below if you guys agree or disagree. And as always, if you could throw a like on this video, share it, and even consider subscribing if you're new to my channel. I post new weekly content on YouTube and I stream twice a week on Twitch. So any follows on Twitch or subs on YouTube would be very much appreciated. Other than that, guys, hope you have a fan-frickin-tastic day, and I'll catch you on my next video or live stream. Peace out.